So
Are we here now?
here I am.
Finally.
Yeah, with Nat. We're recording this because the Zoom gods didn't want us to go on Facebook. And instead they gave us some weird experience, which I'm hoping you're not scarred by.
It was definitely entertaining for all.
Definitely entertaining. So thank you very much for bearing with us. And I'm finally back with the lovely Nat Nicholson. And we're still actually just, giggling about, what happened earlier on.
Getting over that one.
We are getting over that one, and third world problems and all. So Nat, can you say a little bit about you and the amazing stuff that you do, because it is bloody amazing. I know, having experienced it, it's a bit kind of oh, okay.
It's a little bit different, absolutely. So I'm Nat Nicholson from My Body Works. I'm a body worker, so I trained as a sports and remedial massage therapist, but quickly realised that that wasn't what I wanted to work with. I wanted to work with our internal communication system, which is the nervous system, because it's through the nervous system that sends out all of these messages to the rest of our body, to our muscles and our bones, that is actually the place that we need to affect things at, because it's there that if we've got faulty wiring going through the circuits, then we are going to have problems. So we can sort out a muscle till we're blue in the face, but if we haven't sorted out its tracking through the body and up to the brain for motor control, then we're missing a big part of it. So yes, I play with the nervous system.
You do.
Which is very exciting. And looking at not just sort of structural things that have happened in the body, but looking at all of the emotional drivers that have happened to the body, and the physiological things. So those are all of the systems that are busy working in our body, like the digestive system and respiratory system and our endocrine, our hormone system, looking at all of these things to see kind of why they're helping our body to be in pain. There's lots of different factors to look at when we're looking at pain.
It's interesting because I know I know a little bit about A&P, anatomy and physiology, for those of you who don't know. And I hear what you say, and there's part of my brain that hurts because I'm like, you do what, how? But just to put it into context, for if anyone's like me who goes, okay, what does that actually mean then? Can I share a little bit about what I remember from, which will be paraphrased? For example, I have a scar on my eye, and I can't remember if this is something that we actually end up working with, but Nat could do something clever like link this scar on my eye to a pain in my ankle. This came from when I was 2, and she does clever stuff, which is just flipping wizardry. I mean, I know it's not because it's scientific, but for those people who just can't take too much technical stuff in their head, it's just call it wizardry. And then releasing something here by just small movements, moving in different directions, because that makes a difference. And then lo and behold, pain and ankle gone. Pain and ankle, which you've had looked at, you might have had x-rays on it, you might have had physio, you might have had osteopathy, chiropractic, podiatry, blah 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 blah, and then it's gone. It's just awesome.
And that's the thing, is that rarely is the place where we've got pain, rarely is it the cause of our pain. And when we have used compensation patterns for years for our body to be able to work as efficiently as it can around the different events and surgeries and accidents that we have in everyday life, it picks up these different ways of kind of moving the body, to the point that we can have an ankle injury, and absolutely we can have neck pain 20 years later that's caused by that ankle injury from the way that we've carried ourselves differently for 20 years. And finally our body goes, do you know what, I've done 20 years of compensation patterns, I can't do it anymore. And Absolutely. It shouts out to us and goes,
yeah, for sure. And emotions obviously can have an effect, and that's something that I'm particularly interested in. And I know you do some energy ninja stuff with it, which is just so awesome.
Absolutely.
Anyway, and you can do some clever stuff, can't you? Now, can you do some of this online now?
Yeah, no, it's something. It's a move I wanted to do for ages. Actually, was working virtually, and actually lockdown has made me have to sort of push into the over that comfort zone, and it's brilliant, and I'm really enjoying it. So yes, it works just as well on camera, sometimes even better actually, because sometimes not having all of that energy in one room with some people actually works better at a distance.
I get it, and you know, you are such a ball of energy as well, and you know, and I love it. I'm like, yeah, let's have some of that. Like, yeah, fire starter.
Well, we're both fire starters.
Yeah, maybe that's the F factor. I don't know, fire starter.
Oh, that's another one. I like that.
Another one. So we'll come on to F factor in a minute. But yeah, one of the things I love when I do Pilates stuff is actually it puts it back to the person who's, you know, the client as well. So there's able to take a little bit more responsibility as well, which I think is a good thing.
Absolutely.
Anyway,
I'm loving that. It's empowering people, isn't it?
Yeah,
well?
absolutely.
They have to be my hands, you know,
absolutely.
At the moment, so.
And I love the creative ways that people are doing. I'm so glad that, you know, that means more people can reach you. Sorry, you might be a whole lot busier, but
no, I am. It's ridiculous. I've got a whole load of people come from London recently, because there's a Zumba instructor in London that I look after, usually live, and she's gone, right, you can all access that now, and so they have.
I know.
Which is great.
I know, that is brilliant. I'm so pleased, because it is so freeing, the stuff that you do when people have had pain, or even that stuff that, you know, is a niggle that's annoying you and is stopping you doing anything. No, we don't want that in life, do we? We don't want to be stopped doing anything because that's what is apparently a stupid little niggle. So anyway,
those stupid little niggles that we need to listen to, though.
Absolutely. Tap 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 tap. Hello, I'm here. Anyway, we could talk about this for ages, and I would love to, but one of the things I want to do with the conversations is to have these real conversations with my soul sisters, people who I really connect with and know, like, and admire. And so what I want to ask, you know, the question is, how is your, I don't even like to use the word lockdown, whatever you want to call it.
How is your alternative universe working for you?
Oh yes, I love that one. Let's go with that one.
Yeah, and it is, isn't it? It's a really weird alternative universe. And I have to say that my alternative universe has actually come in phases. My first phase was panic. My first phase was, oh my God, I have to, what will we do? Am I allowed to do the...
Oh, you can fucking swear as much as you like.
my first one was fuck, big time.
Fuckity
fuck. I had to close down my clinic, and I was like, oh my God, like, I have no money coming in. I'm not allowed to touch people, and I don't want to be near people at the moment in that vicinity because it's not safe. We don't know what we're dealing with. My second fuck was, oh fuck, I've got a homeschool. I flipping love my daughter. Oh my God, I love her so much, but 24 hours a day. Yeah, so that was a little bit scary. And like, just that kind of like navigating, like, how do we do this? I'm totally not homeschooling 6 hours a day. That is not happening. Like, she needs me as a mother, not a teacher, but she does need to keep up with stuff. So where's that balance? And I think, like a lot of people from like self-employed world, we went into this panic mode of what do we do to keep going?
Yeah.
And then I hit acceptance and was like, oh, this is kind of how it is. And there was a lot of kind of dips within acceptance and shifts and mindset and reaching in deep. And I've learned a lot about myself in the acceptance stage. And now I'm kind of in this stage that I'm kind of like progress.
It's amazing, isn't it? It's almost like grief cycle, isn't it?
Yeah, totally. It's bizarre. And
you can have it all in one day as well. Can I just say?
Totally.
You can go from
totally. It's
fun factor to fun factor all in one day.
You should do it with your hair one day. You should do it so that stages of
Oh yeah, I'm gonna do that. Shall we do that one day? Shall we just create, you know, like the cycles and just do it through hair?
Through hair. Or outfits, or moods.
Guess which cycle I'm in right now.
Yeah, but yeah, that dress is gorgeous. We were talking about that earlier. You look fab.
Thank you so
Deliciously
much.
fab.
Thank you.
But yeah, no, I guess you know, I'm definitely at this. Do you know what? Lockdown or alternative universe has actually been a massive blessing for me, a huge blessing, because I don't stop. I'm usually here just with my daughter on my own. My husband works away for 9 months a year on tour, so I'm usually here, single parent, juggling everything, and it's been really nice to have to go, well, I've got to stop.
Yeah.
And to have time to think about, to be creative. Oh my God, like, have you not had like so many more, like, I mean, you're massively creative anyway, you've always got an idea and things, you know, but to be able to have kind of ideas about, I want to, you know, I've been blogging, I never blog, it's not what I do, you know. So I've just found time to kind of do stuff and know where I want to go next, and put myself up for stuff that I wouldn't have put myself up for, you know, running workshops for people online that, you know, have asked me to work, you know, it's cool, it's really cool, and it's given me new skills and a new excitement going forward.
Good. And
time to play.
That's interesting, because that's my next question, was about what are the silver linings, and you just beautifully segued into that. So I you know, I mean, not everybody, I kind of had my dummy spitting out moments where I've gone, well, I'm working nearly as much as I was before. So I haven't necessarily had that time, but I do think it is working out perfectly for me, because that's what I need right now. Mm-hmm. That's what I need right now. I've got little pockets of time, and this has come from it. My conversations have come, you know, as one of my brain doesn't stop, because in human design, which we've talked a little bit about, haven't we? I'm a projector, and my brain goes, oh, well, you could do this, blah, 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 blah. And it does talk like that as well. Blah, 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 blah.
I like that. Is that language?
Yes, I don't know, some other country from long ago. So yes, actually you know, what is perfect for me is to just have this steadiness to keep going, and it helps in various different ways. So I do think, I don't know whether you agree with me, that we can all find a silver lining, and it doesn't have to be all or nothing thinking, does it? It doesn't have to be it's all really shit, or it's all really okay, or even amazing. It goes up and down, and we can see the shit abso-fucking-lutely, can't we? We can see the shit.
Yes,
fuck. We can see that shit, but also, is there time and opportunity to go, oh my goodness, like you said, you've got time to think, to pause, to take a break and go, oh my God. And I joke with people, what is it you're taking on the ship with you going forward? If we're all going on our own arcs, and there's only enough space for, you know, the good stuff that you want, who or what is coming with you, and who or what is staying behind?
Yes, I think you're right. My totally, like, from what we've all experienced, I think everybody, if anyone comes out of this and says they are unchanged, then they would be lying, because it's been such a profound experience for everybody. And going forward, I know what I need in order to help me be the best person and the best version of me that I need myself to be, and I know what that is now, whereas I was just putting in all the hours before. And I'm like you, I haven't really stopped, but it's not stopped in a way, because I've had lots of creativity going on, so I am busy doing stuff that I really want to be doing, which is great. But the reconnections have been amazing. Having time to do stuff like this has been amazing. When we first went virtual, I've done a lot of studying with American mentors. So there's a lot of them that have done virtual work for a few years already, and they immediately got us all on board, and were, you know, just showing us the protocols for working online. And we were triading with each other, and I was on, like, you know, 5 triads a week with the Americans, you know, so we were working with loads of different people, and everyone brings their different blend of stuff to the party. You know, we're all here to help people in life, energetically, through pain, in their body, in their mind, spiritually. And actually everybody kind of has shared elements, but other elements that they've got as well. And because of that, it's kind of, those have really shaped my interests in where I go next, which is really exciting, because yes, there's stuff that will totally be left behind.
Yeah, good. It's a kind of like a life declutter, isn't it? It's like, it really is.
Totally.
What's going forward and what isn't.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's just, it's like filtering, it's sifting through the shit, isn't it?
Yeah,
and
it
just
really
taking
is.
the good stuff onwards with you, and building even bigger and better.
Yeah,
which is wonderful.
and that's exciting, and it's great to have that hope, isn't it? So this has shown us that, oh, we can adapt, we can be adaptable, or rather that it is in our best interest to be adaptable. Something I read recently, which I know, but you know, the things that you read and it make you stop and go, oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so the pandemic, the coronavirus, has shown us that there is always uncertainty. We never have certainty, and that maybe before, were we taking things for granted, like, oh, this is going to be, you know, going like this, whereas we don't have control. Control's just the master addiction. We don't have control.
But what we do have, which is amazing, is resilience, and, like
Exactly.
you say, adaptability.
Exactly.
That's what I've seen by the bucket load, which
Yeah.
has been lovely, and compassion for others.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that is a big reminder, you know, it is for me. And you know, I work in different ways. I don't have a traditional job, you know. I do some work in a shop, I do my Pilates, I do my wellness, so things tend to come in threes for me. Do you know, you ever find things like that?
Yes, like, it's the perfect number.
It really is. Love a 3.
Structure.
Love a 3, and I quite like that, and that I feel makes me resilient. So I'd be curious as to if anyone resonates with that and has gone, oh gosh, you know, how can I be more resilient in what I do or how I live my life? Yeah, just curious. Anyway, I saw that and I went, oh yes, absolutely, you know. Yeah, and not in a scary way. I mean, it depends on how that you react to that, because we might be reacting from a place of fear, and if you can open your heart and go, be curious with it. I love curiosity.
Oh, so do I. I've got an amazing poster here, and it says, around here we don't look backwards for very long. We keep moving forward, opening up new doors and doing new things because we're curious, and curiosity keeps leading us down new paths.
I love
and
that.
it is there all the time.
Can you photograph that for me? I love it.
Of course I can. Yeah, it's actually Walt Disney. It's a Walt Disney quote. And it's just the best way to be, is curious about everything, question everything.
Yeah, it is. And I mean, I use that in my programs a lot, because I think when we're curious, it takes us out of those kind of heavier emotions, the fear, the frustration, the resentment, the trying so hard, the energy of trying, like, it's like this, isn't it? When you think, anyway, I'm not going to go down there, because that's
what happens when I do this. Let's just see.
Yeah,
no
absolutely.
No judgment, just curiously finding out. Yeah.
And that is a great way for us to be being right now, isn't it? Don't you think? To be curious, well, what happens if I try this online, or what happens if I, you know, I mean, I don't like the word pivot. I think it's a little bit overused, isn't it, at the moment? Oh, we're going to pivot, but what happens if I try this? What happens if I do that? Yeah. And it gets us into that childlike energy, and actually that really leads nicely into the F factor, you know, the childlike energy. And we're talking about the F factor. I posted something the other day, and some people were like, oh, well, what do you mean the F factor? What is the F factor? Is it the F factor? Is it the whatever? And it can be whatever it is that you want, you know. And I think of it first as the fun factor, but we had some others, didn't we?
Oh, we had fun, we had friendship, family. I said funky moves for me is
Funky,
definitely one of them.
Frivolity.
Oh
But
my God.
it's bringing in, for me, it's bringing in the stuff that makes your life just that little bit more, you know,
Full.
juicy. The full factor.
The full factor. Fattening up your life. The full. Yeah, no, it
And
is.
you said that during this time, you know, you've been doing that. You've been bringing that into your life a bit more. Can I
Hugely
explain
so.
that?
I've done a lot of clearing this alternative universe period, and I've done a lot more going inside me just to find out the questions and the answers and what I need to, you know, what is it at the depths of stuff. And I've done some major clearing on birth trauma that I had with my daughter, and actually it was around that time that actually that kind of, I've always been a bit of a firecracker. I've always been very, I am a little girl at heart, totally playful, but I became very serious and became very this other really unknown side of me came out, that I just was like, who are you? I don't even know who you are. And it was all wrapped up in the trauma, and actually clearing that, this little girl's just come out to play again. Which is just brilliant, and I love it. It's just you just feel so much freer in life, you know, like everything just feels lighter. I'm on my bouncy ball here, so I am like bouncing. But just, you know, everything just feels just through the eyes of a child, you know, it, you know, that just playfulness constantly, and not having this kind of strict regime on, well, you know, but it's dinner time at 6 o'clock and we need to, because we need to get here and there. And I think that that's probably come about because we haven't got the structure that we usually have, which has really helped. And I don't know how we go back to after school clubs and running around like a headless chicken. I don't know if I want to. But this fun has just absolutely taken over me. It's really nice.
It is really nice, isn't it? And I think, you know, just as importantly as the quietening down, the going in nature, the helping to bring your, you know, your sympathetic nervous system, which isn't very sympathetic, down. I think fun also has a role in that, doesn't it? Because that does something similar when you become more lighthearted, curious, playful, you know, frivolous. You said free, and also fire. I don't know what fire starter. You know, all of the all of those words which can be slightly, the fun can be slightly dismissed. I can dismiss fun sometimes because I'm great at having fun. It is one of the things that I do quite easily. But when you get too serious and you miss that, it's almost like, where's that spark in my life that's missing? And you can do something fun. You know, we're both fan of a little bit of a getting funky in the kitchen, aren't we?
Oh, it's not just in the kitchen, love. Pretty much everywhere.
Love it. So yeah, adding in some F factor.
Well, in the mornings, because my husband gets up at 5 to go to his new job in his alternative universe, and I get up with him. And I think, you know, I can do a couple of hours work before my daughter gets up, and I plug in and I have music on, and I'm not very good at sitting still, which is why I've got a ball to sit on, because I like to just move around. But I actually did a GoPro of me the other day, a time lapse, and I was just interested to see how much I moved while I was sitting working. And it was so funny because there's points where I stood up and I totally break out into a dance, and then I sit down like da, 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 and I'm there again, and then 5 minutes later I'm there again, like singing my heart out, you know, but with my headphones on because she's asleep. So yes, fun needs to be had all the time as a balance to everything.
Absolutely.
Life's too serious.
Absolutely, and you know, I'll be rooting for fun for sure. It's like, yes, I'm good for fun and funky and freedom and all those things. That's great. So before we wrap up, Nat, what I want to ask you is there something that you want to share with the world? And it could be anything, could be a technique, it could be anything that you feel, yeah, if I could share this one thing so everybody knows it, does it, hears it. What would that be?
Yeah, oh my God, there's so many things. So
Yes, going to say, narrowing it down to one.
Narrowing this one down. So one thing that I'm massively behind with and empowering clients to do is just to listen to your body, like properly sit and listen. And it's not even in, I know some people are like, oh, I can't meditate, I don't know how to do that. It's not even in a meditative way. It's like when you move, what is actually happening in your body when, like you say, that thing that's doing this to you, you know, why is there this little grouchy bit in your ankle that just keeps on going? Hello, why is it doing that? Because your body is trying to tell you something. So always being aware of what your body's saying. You know, it's these physiological things, these systems that work in your body. Why do we get period pain? We get it in our back, don't we? Yeah, so we get bad back from period pain. So from a physiological thing working in our body, we get bad back pain. Yeah. From our digestion trying to do stuff, we get a tummy ache. So listen to that. What is your body telling you? Are you eating the right things? Are you looking after your hormones well? You know, is your back pain all about something that's physiologically happening in you, rather than, you know, oh, I don't remember whacking my back yesterday. No, it's probably because you didn't whack your back.
Yeah.
But more than anything, and this is a massive thing for me, is breathing. So breathing is so important. It is our number one report card of what is going on in our system. We come into this life with our first breath and we leave this life with our last breath. And in between that, we have 23,000 breaths a day. So how are you breathing? Make sure you're breathing through your nose, not through your mouth. We can't go into it all now, but
does that mean the exhale as well? Inhale and exhale?
Absolutely. Inhale and exhale if you can. Always the inhale. If you can't with the exhale and you need to breathe out through your mouth, absolutely, that's fine. But just one thing I can give you is finger magnets. So just coming along your face here and coming down your nasal sutures here and coming to the points here where your forehead comes into your nose.
I'm doing it.
I'm going to grab my skull. Here we are. There you go. They're all the connections where our plates of our skull come together. And if they are just a little bit compressed, then we can find it hard to breathe through our nose. So if you just come along here and just censor a little point, that just breathe through your nose as you do it. And is there a point where it's just a little bit easier to breathe through your nose than before? And it's usually sort of along here, the zygomatic, or it's along the nasal sutures here, because we've all had a whack from a ball at some point in our life. We've all walked into a door at some point in our life. So if there just needs to be just some compressive forces taken out from there, so just where everything's got a little bit tight, just allowing your fingers to sit with those points.
I'm going to be trying this in a
that
second.
Better entry of air into your nose so that you can get a clear, because the first thing we do as soon as we get a blocked up nose is we go like this. We breathe through our mouth, and that's the worst thing you can do, because actually
and also
through your nose will help if you breathe through your nose.
And how many people in times of stress start to breathe, and anyway, we could go on.
That's a whole another one.
But can I put the link so that people can find out? Because I know have you got a breathing program?
I do have a breathing program. It's live. I'm working on the online one at the moment, but yeah,
Beautiful.
Breathing's my thing. I love breathing.
I love it too.
Yes, you can. And on my YouTube channel, I've got a couple of breathing things that have been popped up. So yes, they're on links.
I'll put those links with this. And it's a great reminder, isn't it? Because right now we need to be breathing optimally, right?
In a time
more
of
than
virus.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh yes. Oh,
yes. Get your breathing mechanics sorted. Diaphragmatically breathe, bring the air through your nose, and really help yourself in amongst this time, because set yourself up
for success.
Good and strong.
Yes. Oh, thank you so much. You are a wizardress ninja witchy person, and That is official.
Can I put that as my new title?
Yeah.
I always wonder what I have to call myself. I'm
Yeah.
just going to be the witch, the witchy wizardress.
Yeah. Ninja witchy wizardress. Anyway, we need a new word for you, Nat, and you know, apart
Absolutely.
from incredible. So
Oh, bless you. Thank you.
you
And
know,
to you too, darling, because you are doing amazing, amazing work, and it's just it's brilliant to be able to share this. So thank you for the opportunity.
you are so welcome, and so I hope you reach out and find Nat, and at the very least do the breathing stuff, and you know, check her out. I must book my appointment with you before anyone else does, before the big rush. So thank you so much. I'm going to we'll say goodbye for now, and Nat, it's been a pleasure as always, and I will speak to you soon.
Take care, lovely. Bye.